Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a drama thriller film called Baby Girl from 2024. Enjoy your viewing. The movie begins with a love scene between Romy and Jacob. However, not feeling sufficiently satisfied, Romy, instead of discussing it with her husband, goes to another room where she enjoys watching the movie. In the morning, Romy gets ready to go to work at a process automation company, while discussing everyday nuances with her husband Jacob, who is a theater director, and their daughters Isabel and Nora. At the entrance to the building, she notices an aggressive dog among the passers-by, which a strange young man feeds, pets, and calls good girl before returning it to its owner. This tender and yet disturbing scene of submission sticks in her memory. At her workplace, Romy immediately proves herself to be a strong leader. She gives inspirational speeches in front of the camera, pays attention to every aspect of the business, builds trusting relationships with her colleagues, and actively promotes gender equality in the company. In the afternoon, when Romy is accepting a new group of interns, he notices one guy among the faceless newcomers asking awkward questions. This is the same guy who calmed the dog down. Later, when she asks the intern to pour her coffee, she asks him how he managed to find a common language with the animal. He admits that he always keeps cookies up his sleeve for such occasions. The guy jokes and offers the boss some sweets, but she refuses. At night, while Romy is watching motivational videos, Jacob hints that it would be nice to fulfill their marital duty. The woman shyly admits that she wants to watch a movie with him while doing so, and covers her face with a pillow, hoping to stimulate creativity. But the man is not comfortable with this idea, because according to him, it is more like the philosophy of criminals, even if it is presented under the guise of a role-playing game. At the Christmas corporate party, Romy notices Samuel again. When she goes out to the balcony to smoke, she meets him alone. He confesses that he has chosen her to be his mentor for the duration of his internship. Returning to the dance floor, the woman notices that the guy is taking off his tie as if to get rid of the corporate yoke. The next morning, having arrived at work earlier than the others, Romy cools down her managerial fervor while recalling the moment when Samuel subdued the dog. In the elevator, she meets him again. He compliments her and says that he can't wait to see her as a mentor. The woman also notices that the newcomer is actively communicating with her assistant Esme, who is in charge of the mentoring program and is supposed to supervise the trainees. During the first official briefing for Samuel, Romy tells him that most HR managers are idiots who don't understand what the company really needs. She recalls how she once yelled at them, which got her fired by her bosses. But 5 years later, she started her own process automation company. She can quickly calculate how many balloons will fit in a room of a certain size, but the cheeky intern notices hidden feelings and repressed fantasies about a dominant man behind this cold mask. After the briefing is over, Romy tries to leave the room, but Samuel stops her at the exit and eventually kisses her. A few days after this incident, Samuel intercepts Romy on her way out of the building to ask why she hasn't been responding to his messages, even though she is officially his mentor. She reminds him that there was unnecessary tension between them. However, thoughts of the forbidden do not leave Romy. They haunt her before bed, during family walks, and even during a spontaneous visit to the theater where her husband works. In the evening, trying to drown her sadness in a drink, Romy goes to a bar with her colleagues. But the attractive Samuel is already there. He doesn't approach her, but instead demonstrates his power and dominance from a distance by ordering her a glass of milk, hinting at something. When Romy returns home, she lies on the floor, changing for her husband's premiere and preparing to please herself in a fit of emotion. After the performance, she goes to the dressing room to congratulate everyone in general and her husband in particular, but is distracted by her phone, waiting for a message from Samuel. He leaves a note in her office with instructions about a secret meeting and watches from outside to make sure Romy reads it. In the morning, the woman goes to the address given to her, to a hotel room, where she is later joined by Samuel. She tries to end their unnatural relationship, but the guy reminds her that she came to the meeting voluntarily. Romy thinks that she enjoys having power over him, but Samuel counters that if he wants to, he can blame her for it. It's an unconventional move, but in theory it's effective. Samuel convinces her that the real reason she is attracted to him is her thirst for submission, for stepping out of her comfort zone as a businesswoman and doing what she is told. To prove his point, the guy orders Romy to perform various actions: stand in the corner, crawl on his knees, eat candy from his hand like an obedient puppy. The woman voluntarily obeys the commands, giving in to her subconscious natural desire. These role-playing games end with pleasure and a subsequent nervous breakdown. Romy and Samuel's office romance continues in the usual way. The boss pretends that she is not interested in her subordinate, but in their free time they meet in the restroom. All this happens in the offices and in the corridors. The boss diligently follows the orders of her dominant lover. She picks up the trash from the floor and follows his instructions everywhere. Having an affair even strengthens Roma's family relationships. Being satisfied, she treats her husband and children more tolerantly, not snapping at them for trifles and bad moods. The woman is not even ashamed to share a cigarette with her eldest daughter, as long as her father does not find out about her hobby on the side. However, Romy soon faces a new challenge. Samuel comes to her house under the pretext of an internship. Unhappy with this turn of events, she throws her lover out and warns him not to show up at her house again. She tries to break off the relationship by sending him away, but when Samuel wants to transfer to another department so he won't have to see her anymore, Romy objects. She explains that such a move could raise unnecessary questions and investigations about work ethics, which would have consequences, including for her as a manager, so it's better for them to just break up. The breakup negatively affects her relationship with her husband. She confesses to him that she has never felt satisfied with him during their marriage. One night, Romy sneaks off to the bar where Samuel works part-time, but their brief encounter ends in nothing. The next day, the guy acts like he's a regular employee, but not for long. Soon, he switches back to his dominant male mode, subduing his boss, who has already lost control. After that, they meet again at the hotel, where the guy commands her what to do, including various details. At the same time, he looks like he is enjoying the feeling of power over the poor boss, who no longer controls her desires. Their session ends when they come up with a stop word for their light games. This word is Jacob, the name of Romy's legal husband. During the next game, the woman drinks milk from a bowl on the floor, making all the cat owners jealous. Romy's euphoria and idyll are shattered by the harsh reality when Samuel comes to her daughter's birthday party with her assistant Esme. Jealous of her lover's younger rival, the boss arranges a scandal for him alone in the kitchen, breaking dishes in the process. Later, at work, she talks to Esme, trying to understand what kind of relationship she has with Samuel, and, although unsuccessfully, tries to sow a quarrel between them. In the evening, Romy finds an excuse to go to a party at the nightclub where Samuel is staying. The atmosphere there is not the best. She drinks a lot of alcohol with him, while clarifying the specifics of his relationship with Esme. He replies that this relationship is completely different, as both women are completely different. Upon returning home, Romy runs into her daughter, who wants to know what kind of relationship she has with her father. In response, her mother reassures her, saying that the divorce will only exist on the phone screen at most. However, seeing her daughter's tears, Romy pretends that everything is fine. The next morning, Esme comes to their house. She informs them that she knows about the affair between the boss and the intern Samuel, and asks them to stop playing games so that she doesn't have to go to the top management. At the same time, she hints that she wants a promotion. Romy then confesses to her husband that she has had hidden desires since childhood. These desires are the desire to be humiliated and insulted. In her opinion, this is what led to the allegedly accidental infidelity. Unable to forgive his wife, Jacob kicks her out of the house, forcing her to move to a summer house on the beach. In the middle of the night, Romy notices that her ex-lover Samuel is swimming in the pool. She approaches him, and he pulls her into the water. Later, when Jacob comes to visit her, he and his young rival get into a hand-to-hand fight with broken faces, dishes, and damaged furniture. After the fight, Jacob tells Samuel that his wife simply used him to fulfill her desires, to which the young rival replies that his information is outdated. When Jacob starts to have a panic attack, Samuel unexpectedly helps him by handing him a glass of water. Pretending that he had never suspected anything about Romy's family, the guy calmly walks away, leaving everything behind. After these events, Esme gets a promotion and records a message to the company's future employees, assuring them that they will get everything they need here. Meanwhile, Romy stays in the house by the sea, deep in her own thoughts. Her daughter comes to her and asks her to come home because her father needs her. After she returns home and to work, her boss comes into her office. He tells her that Samuel is rumored to have taken a job in Tokyo and hints that he knows about their affair. The man offers to continue the relationship, only with him. However, Romy decisively refuses him, practically pointing to the door. The film ends with Romy and her husband. We are also told that there is no difference between training human women and dogs. The main thing is that someone holds them with a confident and firm hand. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klonsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.